think we do now. We're on the OBS system, and we actually do have a problem. We just trying to go through it because it's gonna come up here in a minute. And what's that? It was saying
34-yard line.
It was overloaded.
Oh, that we were overloading and we need to redo the settings. Oh, okay.
Brings up 3rd down and 6.
So they call headphones. You say you know what you're doing. Broadcast the game, I mean your damn talk. Nah, you're running your mouth. Earl gonna talk most of the time anyway.
That's right.
You're already live, so
We live?
yeah, that's what I'm
All
trying
right.
to tell you.
We got Lanaya Lee from Rickers High School coming up this week. We're going to give you some extended coverage.
Okay, but
We got the Leon
But in about 5
Lions
minutes,
versus Godby Cougars
it go red.
being showcased
Say
here in this particular game. But
we're doing
we
it
got some
fast
special
or
guests
something.
here in the booth. Lanaya,
Yeah,
how you doing?
slow it down.
Lanaya, tell everybody
And this will come back,
what you're doing.
and it'll have a little warning under there.
After leaving Rickers High School.
I graduated on May 3rd.
And the only thing we were able to do, we did
Too far away. But this
change
summer,
some
I'm
of the
working
settings, but I don't know. Actually, they told me on YouTube.
Majoring in biomedical sciences within 10 upon
We set that to super fast. They told us to change the bit rate, and they said you couldn't see what it told you to change it to.
University
You
of
just
Central Florida gonna be a night, huh?
you talking about here with the usage bit rate?
Oh yeah,
Huh?
yeah.
The bit rate.
You are familiar.
It was at
remember the Lady Raiders basketball team, our head coach.
might have been
They
45.
was Hall of Famer at University
So
of Central Florida.
I cut it in half, but it's
Gonna
fine
follow
for
in
right
her
this
footsteps and
minute.
pave her own way.
But after about 5
becoming a
minutes
Hall
or
of
so,
Famer one day.
it'll
as
show
an
up and
orthopedic
tell us something different.
surgeon. All right.
It'll
Very
come up
excited
different here,
for Lanaya.
and
You
we'll
were one
lose
of
this
the
green light. And I
Tallahassee
don't think
Democrat
it's
25
I don't think it's showing
young
clear
ladies to
now.
watch.
But
5 young women to
Like,
watch.
one
Yeah,
of
but they
yours.
were 25. Women to know.
Yeah, tell us about it. Tell us a little bit about it.
So basically, we all got nominated.
I haven't on this one yet, but they
I got
are on
nominated by one of my old
Second
teammates.
down.
and it's on
Johnny
YouTube.
Johnson, she was president a while back. The first African American president at SGA president at University of West Florida. But her mom nominated me as well.
Fingers on the line.
And it was fabulous. Going from Leon to playing 25 records, myself, of course. And met up with everybody else to do like a meet and greet type of deal before the actual event. That's about it. Got awards, talked, intertwined
So you were there with a lot of positive young ladies.
definitely. And I met some African American female doctors. That was probably the most important thing about the whole event for me.
Pass is caught by number 11.
That's always good. So you started that networking process early, huh? Right. We're definitely expecting great things out of you.
Brings up 3rd
Anytime
down.
you get to the football game, will be fine, y'all.
This extended coverage.
I've been watching, but it's a lot of pass drops and
Thank
a lot
you.
of slips.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm gonna put out. You gonna get his job real easy.
I mean, at first they were running the ball pretty well, and now he's slipping running, so I don't know.
Let's see. Thank you. Show him how versatile you
We
are.
got and that's definitely going to be a pass in the
Yeah, I know. He a little slow sometimes.
That's right.
Pass is incomplete.
Pass interference on the Cougars. They were beat on a double move,
But there's a flag.
going down the sideline, and had to grab the jersey of receiver Samaj James, who had a really good showing in the first half versus Gadsden County. So that's going to move ball closer to the end zone for the Lions.
Penalty goes against
They're going to take over 1st and 10 from the 19.
Lions have it 3rd and 10 from the 19-yard line.
Leon put together a pretty good drive here.
Good.
Your score's got something.
No gain on the play.
All right, no gain
Bet by
on the play
Huston
there.
Cougars.
You got critics everywhere. He want to do personal interview. He gonna show me what I ain't studying. I see that. I can't tweet and do that and give him. Not gonna do one person, one thing. You roll with me, huh?
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Okay.
Second and 11 for the Lions. We got the peanut gallery. Oh, nice rollout and completion. That should be almost a touchdown. I thought he broke the plane and hit the pylon. That's typically indication of a touchdown. That pass down to Joshua Seabrooks. And now they come back with that big elephant package. Kamari Brown in the backfield. He scored earlier, but it was brought back. I think they'll give it to him. And they do, and he gets it in. Touchdown, Leon Lyons. We talked earlier about Godby with the new coaching staff. We talked about how Leon coming off of a tough season and how they want to try to establish something within the city, in the contest that they're playing. And it's going to mean a lot to them. Lanaya, what's your take on Godby with the new coach and Leon coming out from a tough year?
Just about to ask, wasn't Leon relatively young last year?
Very young. In a lot of positions, a lot of skill positions.
Because I know when they took his this year, that they
Leon,
played the role of the season, he was playing very
Godby,
year.
0.
Looking at Godby, I don't know how I feel. I mean, I don't know much about the
Like to
new
make the
coach.
time to all the
I
Warriors
just know
to
that
the 2019
Corey
Big
Fuller
Ten
kept
Spring
a
Football Classic.
decent
First day,
energy with him.
Godby
So with him
versus
leaving, I don't know how it's
Leon.
effective returning players if they didn't leave with him.
Yeah, they play a really tough schedule this
Frank
year.
Fisher.
You know that. This is the first time we've seen them on offense. Their first possession.
Mikael
And,
Leland.
number 2, Jaquel Leland takes the ball around the right end, picks up about 7 yards. But Lanaya, you make a great point.
6-7.
You talk
Second
about
down and
Coach
3.
Fuller's passion and his energy for the game. And he was able to, you saw that a little bit earlier with how Gadsden County looked.
Oh, yeah.
They looked a lot more energized, at least in the first half. The second half of their contest, they looked a little windy. So we know that they still have some conditioning to do because they ran out of gas against Leon. But coming out against Childs, they look pretty good.
Yeah, it's fine. That's the best
First and 10 Cougars from the 41.
So he's going to make them a formidable opponent coming into the fall.
Tyreek Paramore on the carry for the Cougars.
They're not going to be a team that you can overlook. Yeah, that's definitely.
Especially if you have them marked as your tape going on the schedule.
Correct.
It's going to mess a lot of people up.
Godby still led by Trey Fisher at quarterback.
He breaks it outside.
Yeah, we get around the right end. Tyreek Paramore.
Tyreek Paramore on the carry.
Coming up this year.
Good enough for another Cougar. First down.
Godby put together a decent drive here thus far.
I think what Godby gives us up is the defense. Because I know a lot of the seniors were playing key roles on defense this year. Especially with Mr. Lee at linebacker.
He breaks it to the outside. Brought down by number 22. Marvin Easley.
Did make carry the load for them defensively. Godby now spreading it out a little bit more for the wide receiver package.
They lost some of their receivers this year too.
Got Bubbles on both sides. And goes out to number 4. That's Mr. Electrifying right there, Alvin Jones. Every time he touches the ball, there's
Good
potential
enough for another
for a big play.
Cougar. First down.
He reminds me of Javon.
I definitely could agree with that. It's a really, really good assessment. Cougar staying out in the 4 receiver package. And we have all sides on Leon.
Offside.
He's coming out.
Leon.
Yes, he is. Right where he needs to be.
First down. 5.
Right there, a little lack of discipline. He looks a little gassed. And I didn't pay attention there. He went straight for the water. And there's Trey Fisher to number 8, Avery Boyd. And the Cougars strike back.
Fisher with the pass. Avery Boyd with the pass. Godby puts
29-yard touchdown for Godby. Trey Fisher to Avery Boyd on the little slant there. He was able to take it the distance.
See some new faces on Godby's coaching staff. I didn't see them last year.
Yeah, he definitely had some turnover on the coaching staff. Quite a few of those guys went over to Gadsden County with Coach Fuller.
That makes sense.
So, Brandon McCray has had to put a staff together. Gonna have some new faces over there for Godby.
Those new faces are kind of younger in comparison to what we saw last year.
That still has who we consider a legend down there though, Jesse Ford,
Very true.
still on the staff. That kick is up and through, and we have a tie ball game at 7. 5 minutes 40 seconds to go in the first quarter of the game.
And the kick is good.
So Leon looked pretty good, put together a nice drive. Godby answers with a drive of their own. A couple of big plays, ending with a 29-yard touchdown pass
Leon. 7.
Well, thank you, man.
from Fisher. So we want to thank Lanaya. You did a great job, and we're looking forward to great things from you in the future.
Thank y'all.
There she goes. Lanaya Lee. Our first 3-time Dr. Arthur Woodard Academic Award winner. 3-time winner. We need to make sure we get her back next year when we have our banquet. She ought to be home by then. Be able to be one of our speakers in our program. Be our first student speaker. Oh, don't do all that. You love talking anyway. You love talking. So we got that commitment from you on the air here. We got that. You're in front of your dad. You gonna say that if you're home.
If I'm home.
Yeah, don't not come home so you don't have to do it.
I'm not gonna avoid
Oh, you put that out there real good now. Yeah, you got too grown on me now. You got too grown on me now. We'll say only about 3 minutes. That won't be long. Yeah, you can do 3 minutes.
Oh, that ball was big.
He's to the 30. The 20.
Number 22, Sean Rucker. Rucker, one of those young guys who's going to make some waves this year.
That's one of those mistakes that Paxson didn't make when we saw him earlier. This time he still didn't have much pressure on him, but he threw in the zone coverage and missed his man. He didn't make those mistakes when we saw him earlier. That was against Gaston County, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's against Gadsden County, but it's interesting because here against Godby, he probably is going to feel a little bit like he has something.
Thank you. Well, we also said that the second half that somebody has played, the second game, has never quite gone as well as the first one.
We get offsides on
Offside.
We got a little more energy and intensity in this game because these guys really, you want to have some sort of bragging rights within the city, even though it's just a spring game. Anytime you get teams, there's Jones. That's going to go, coach. That's easy for Alvin Jones.
Oh, you saw that early when he started that sweep. It wasn't anything but blue shirts over there. Nobody could turn it back in.
Yeah, nobody was able to set the hands for Leon there. Even though it's just a spring game, anytime teams within the city limits get together,
Leon.
you're gonna get some intensity, additional intensity in the game. So Alvin Jones.
Well, even that Godby last year was one of the premier teams in the city, in the state actually, Leon struggled last year, so I'm sure that what Leon is trying to do is just be able to hold their own and just be a little competitive in it, to be able to look for the improvements over last year. It'd be in a tremendous reach to be able to play Godby even in the space of less than 7 months.
And the kick is
But they
good.
started off good with a 7-0 lead.
With the score,
Godby has awakened to the challenge and
Leon.
taken a 14-7 lead now.
We welcome the Godby High School Marching Band to Bryant Memorial Stadium.
They're welcoming the Godby band over there.
Lions take over. 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. 1st and 10 line.
And they're up there in the corner pretty good.
Add a little more to the atmosphere.
It's a football game.
It is now. Got a timeout.
We got Miss B over here handling 2 cameras. I see you, Miss B.
Add a little extra to the broadcast.
Add a little extra to the broadcast. As she said, trying. So she need a selfie stick. He said she need a selfie stick. Okay, somebody got the volume on for their broadcast because I'm hearing it.
All right, here we go. Leon, 1st and 10 from the 30. Let's see if they can put together another drive without making a mistake. Handoff goes to Bivens.
Not quite finding the yardage as easy as he did against a tired Gatson defensive line.
Right.
1-yard gain.
This is the game you wanted to see, Coach. You wanted to see how they adjusted or how they responded to Godby's pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely wanted to be able to see what the difference is. And this is going to be a better test for Leon to measure and gauge exactly where they are here in the spring. They got trips left in a bunch. Formation. And they're to the flag and just overthrown.
Passes intended for number 11.
Not running as wide open as he was against Gaston County,
No, not at all. He's pulled up.
but he was still open, Coach.
Yeah, he was open. James pulled up. He looks like he's pulled a muscle. It's probably going to be it for his spring game.
He was a difference maker earlier today. Great atmosphere, ladies and gentlemen. Great atmosphere. If you missed coming this year, make sure when you hear about it next year, you come.
Timeout.
Timeout by
Leon.
Yeah, starting to pick up in the stands now as we get a little later in the evening. Probably more so for quote-unquote marquee matchups of the evening as we get ready for
Welcome.
we got Godby Leon now. Godby Rickards is next. Florida High Lincoln and then Rickards Lincoln.
Okay.
We'd like to remind our guests and fans to continue to visit our concession stands. Visit hot dogs, hamburgers, boiled peanuts.
Godby has they got a squad over here, boy. Guess what? They're maybe 45, 50.
Ivy Ice is in the north end zone.
Yeah,
The lemonade stand is on the east side.
So they can always have some numbers.
Today's game is being sponsored by Hobbit Hoagie, 102.3, and the Lincoln High School Quarterback Club.
3rd down for the Lions. And a sack. Might be one of the first sacks we've seen this evening?
Florida High had a couple.
Okay.
They were stunting in there pretty good.
Like I said, this is a really good gauge for Leon to see exactly where they are.
This is a better gauge for them.
Yeah.
Hope springs eternal in spring games.
Leon back in front.
With the dribble snap.
Yeah, dribble snap. Alvin Jones.
Fumbled it and then kicked it. Our camera didn't move it. Our camera person eating peanuts.
Alvin Jones. Ball plays.
Godby's going to take over for, I think this is their third possession of the game here, 48-yard line. Let's see what adjustments the Leon defense can make after that quick strike that they had.
That bubble screen.
And there's that screen again.
He ran out of 2 tackles, 3 tackles.
That's going to always be a staple of that offense. They ran it with pretty good precision there as well.
Yeah.
Had
More.
a nice stutter on the outside by the receiver coming back for the ball and picks up the first down.
I don't give him that much credit. More example of bad tackling. It's
Yeah.
spring, but that's one of those games, one of those plays Coach Zane is gonna be honest about that. He missed. It was at least 3 missed tackles.
Back able to keep his feet there. He picked up another 10.
Brings the ball down to the 17-yard line. First and 10,
3.5 minutes to go.
Coach, if you were the AD at Florida A&M, okay, me take a deep breath now. He said, I don't know where this boy going to go now. Would you put a wide open?
Wide open touchdown to Alvin Jones.
Would you put a thermometer on it?
Alvin Jones with the touchdown catch.
You said, would I put a thermometer on the field?
Mm-hmm.
If I was playing against a team from North Carolina, Delaware, or somebody like that, absolutely.
Would you have the field? Would you have the thermostat set where it was probably 10 degrees, 5 degrees warmer than it really
Yeah,
was?
oh, yeah, 10 easily. Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
No question about it.
Okay.
Every psychological advantage you could get, you better take advantage
Better
of it.
take advantage of it.
Absolutely.
I was just asking.
Especially for a day game, absolutely. But
And on the artificial turf, I'd be talking about how hot it was. And,
all week,
And
I make sure that the news coverage in those areas.
with 325.
Absolutely, no question about it.
oh, yeah, 115 degrees on the field in Bragg.
That's right.
Leon.
Oh, it's going to be, talking about a bomb burner, it's going to be a turf burner down there.
Oh, man. And even for those games that start at 5 or 6 o'clock, you know, that sun's still going to be out here in Tallahassee.
Coach, wouldn't nobody know I set that sucker up 10 degrees, not even football coach. Down there, that thing set up so hot. Somebody will come back and say, man, I had something, it didn't say it was 107. Say, well, unless you're on that field getting hit, probably 117.
All right, so Godby showing a little explosiveness, coach.
Yeah, they are in the first quarter.
Yeah, two plays that were exciting. Able to showcase their speed and their talent and get those guys out in space. And that's the one thing that they've been able to do here for the last few years is get their team, get those guys out in space and be able to use their skills.
I still like Bivens.
Yeah, running back from Leon.
Yeah, I still like him. I know we have at least one Leon game next year. I'd like to see him.
Got this legal motion in the backfield.
Bivens.
Oh, yes, sir. Bivens showed showed a little bit of his power there.
He had to because nobody in front of him laid a block on anybody. Godby ran to him unabated, ran past him.
Pick up the first down for the Lions.
He's able to pick up the first down.
Lions from the 41.
Yeah, I think that would be good to get Leon definitely on the broadcast. He's gonna be pretty good.
Yes, he is. And they got a pretty good recruited wide receiver.
Yep. Trips, right, set. And Tomaney down the seam.
Nice throw.
Yes, sir. Right down the seam.
Oh.
That goes to Lonnie Williams. That goes to Sanchez Cruz. For Leon Tomaney with the strike down the seam.
Marcus Williams with the catch.
Sanchez Cruz. What's his classification?
He's right now. He's a ninth grader.
That's all right there, Coach.
He'll be a sophomore next year.
Coach, that's a good throw.
That was a very good throw.
That's one of the better throws we've seen today.
Come back to the same formation to the left side now, Trip.
Looks like somebody was in motion.
You got a lot of motion.
Coach said we got a lot of motion.
A lot of motion. They were going to get the ball to Cruz again.
We've
We've seen the motion a lot today, and it hasn't been called as much as it should have. It hasn't been called as much as it should have been called. Those are going to be some things that these guys need to get under control as they get ready to go into the fall.
Now explain something, Coach. Is this the last day of practice for them for the spring?
This is considered the last day of practice. Every team gets 20 practices, and the game is considered a practice. Some people are a little confused about that. But they think that this is just an extra day, but this is considered a practice. In addition to, you've had some officials clinics throughout the 20 days as well. And those are considered practices as well. So last week, I believe Lincoln hosted the officials clinic for the spring.
Okay, now what do coaches typically do with their football teams after this?
Oh, afterwards you go into your workout phase. You typically, some coaches elect to give guys a week off. Some go right back at it on Monday. And you get into your workout phase. In particular, that weight room is a really major part of what's going to happen in the fall. Really got to get in that weight room and get your body and yourself prepared for what's going to be a long season ahead. Then you get guys getting ready for camp to go to their individual camps. Some coaches take their teams or selected players to different camps across the country. We've seen Lincoln do that the last couple of years where they charter a bus and they take guys across the country. So Coach Gray is doing an outstanding job in that aspect of his program.
Explain something to the listening and viewing audience. What is the difference between the team camp and the 7-on-7 camp?
Our team camp is just as it's stated, you're able to take your team. Typically, it's a padded practice during the summer. You're not allowed to practice in pads over the summer, but if you go to a team camp to work on different skills, you're allowed to put on your uniform and your pads. So that gives you an extra opportunity for some reps there. 7-on-7 is a skills camp. Basically, you take your guys and work on your passing game. Prepare your passing attack for the season. 7-on-7s are good, but they also have their downfalls as well, because you're scheming against teams with no line in front of you. So I'm throwing that 5-yard pass right over the line of scrimmage where a lineman would be. So you have some coaches that are really scheming, working on their skills for the season, but then you have some that just want to go out and win to say that they won a tournament.
I was going to ask you, so what is the advantage of them actually? I see a lot of teams talk about they won the 7-on-7. What does that mean in the bigger scheme of things?
Bigger scheme of things, it's more of you get an opportunity to really just say that you participated in an activity, and kids like winning, even though it really doesn't mean anything.
Okay.
So kind of have to really have a balance with those types of things.
Okay. So the team cap actually gives you a little bit of advantage, and to the colleges who actually host them.
Well, they typically host those team camps. They're not allowed to be, I don't think, hosted on college site. So they go somewhere, around the college, and the coaches will come to that particular site. But there are some colleges that host the 7-on-7. So all of it's great exposure for the kids. There's no question about that. The exposure that they're able to get. There goes Bivens. He's going to walk in the end zone.
And Leon's back in it.
Leon put together a pretty good drive while we were talking.
They did.
Yeah. So giving you some insight on some things, high school football-wise. Hopefully you weren't distracted by that and saw that really good drive that we were able to see Leon put together. They went right down the field, Coach.
Impressive drive, and I think it was mainly by that throw by Tumani, Paxton.
Yeah.
When he made that, it gave his team a lot of confidence.
Yes, it did. That was a high snap. It wasn't impressive.
And this is the first quarter, Coach.
21-14, Godby, 20 seconds to go.
Leon, 14. Godby, 21.
Wow. We wanted to see this game, really, and you started it. Even in this quarter, you wanted to see how Leon would respond, or if they would respond. And they answered your question, Coach.
Yeah, they did put something together really good there.
Leon may have something.
That wasn't bad at all. As Lanaya stated earlier, Leon is not going to be the team that you're going to count or win against this year.
That was a nice statement, nice block.
It was. Alvin Jones out in space again. And Coach, I tell you, every time he touches the ball, he's going to have an opportunity to score. But you're going to have a lot of teams that are going to scheme against that.
But my vote goes for number 8, Avery Boyd, with the block.
Yeah, let that not be overlooked.
No, not at all.
Receivers can get out and lock down field. That's always a plus. Godby continuing. They have been a tempo offense for quite a while, and they showed a little tempo there as we end the first quarter. Cougars up 21-14.
21-14.
Ball on the 36-yard line. And that's the end. In the first quarter, ladies and gentlemen. Leon, 14. Godby,
It's by B. All I can say is vanilla. If nothing else, call event by B. Get your calendar.
Love to have anybody out and join us for free breakfast and your program.
You haven't even tried the strawberry.
Join us. Join us. Join us.
Tastes really good with some
Join
hot
us.
chocolate.
Join us.
Football with the carry. Takes the ball down.
All right. Time to beat Paramore.
7-yard line.
With the carry, he looks like he's going to be the bell cow this year for the Cougars. As far as the run game is concerned.
That young man, Tyrone McGriff, has a pretty good future ahead of him. Family baseball team wins 5-4, coming from behind to beat Norfolk State, forcing another game. Coming out of that losing bracket at the MEAC baseball tournament, fighting. Congratulations to Jamie Schutz and the and the men's baseball team. Are those cheerleaders over there, Coach?
Yeah.
See what you started? Trey Fisher, he has it. Oh, he underthrew it.
Yeah, he underthrew it, and the receiver pushed off.
Didn't he push off?
And there was no call there. And I believe he stepped out of bounds as well.
Yeah, that was an obvious push there.
Yes, absolutely.
Speaking of the devil, wasn't that Coach McGriff just went by?
It was.
Third down, 14.
Looks like Coach said the Ricketts cheerleaders are showing up, and I see the Lincoln Trojans. Looks like they're coming in as well, or have arrived as they get ready for their 6 o'clock tilt.
Oh,
with
up
Florida
top.
High. Oh, bombs away.
I'm surprised he caught it because he looked away.
Yeah, bombs away to Avery Boyd. We're gonna get a target. Just not sure about these penalties after the touchdown. I did not see the young man say anything to a Leon player or make any gestures to a Leon player.
Must be a point of emphasis, but I don't understand the point.
Maybe he said something. I'm not. That's the only thing I could come up with, but definitely didn't make any gestures towards him.
Coach, I didn't think he'd catch the ball because he actually looked away at where the other receiver was running to see if he was coming, and then relocated the ball again in flight. That's pretty impressive to me.
And the kick is up and through 28-14.
11:02 left in the game. Godby 28.
And I know we had
14.
we had some folks that were concerned about what Godby would look like without Corey Fuller. And right here against Leon right now, it don't look bad.
Yeah, I don't think they have to worry about him right now.
We are lively
Explosive.
7 a.m.
Explosive. Now, on the other hand, Leon needs some work on that defense now.
And we have a lot
Yeah,
of
absolutely.
entertaining
They're going to have to get a lot better.
speakers. We would just love to have anybody come out and join us for a free breakfast. And you're appropriate.
Coming out of the gate after the preseason game,
Join
we start
us.
out with Lincoln.
Join us.
Join us. Trinity, who's a perennial power.
Join us.
Dothan, Alabama on the schedule. Edgewater, Lake Mary, Wakulla, Rickard, Swanee, and then Miami Edison.
Mm.
They're gonna have some formidable opponents this year.
Well, had their hands full there.
Yeah, they definitely are. Leon, there's Tomani, and just overthrows Devontae Anderson. Leon district has expanded. Now we'll include the likes of Crestview, Navarre, Niceville, who is always a tough opponent. And perhaps, I believe, Pensacola Tate. They have Tate and Trinity Catholic on their schedule as well. So their district is expanded, and they're going to have their hands full as well. Bivens put that shoulder down on him,
Didn't he? He's going to be Paxton's best friend. He's bailing him out back there, able to give it to a young man like that. Almost a fullback type coach.
Yeah, he's big body.
Yes, sir. Little bit more tweaking on that defense there, a little bit for Leon. They might be in the hunt a little bit, coach. Nobody blocking in front of him on his.
And I can tell you that's going to be a setup for a double pass.
You see it coming, huh?
I can see it.
Especially when you saw both receivers keep running, huh?
Yeah. But I wouldn't show that right now, not on the screen. It's not worth it.
Why you say it's not worth it?
want to keep those type of exotic plays in your coat pocket.
And see, I see it differently.
Okay.
When you're trying to establish that winning culture from what you had last year,
Okay.
you would try at all costs to get the guys optimistic and excited about what you may potentially have.
I like that. I got no problem with that rationale.
Not Godby. You could save it. Because you've been winning.
Right. But Leon needs everything they can get. That's I like that. It's a good argument.
Same thing with Gaston County with Corey. Well, maybe not with Corey being a new coach, but you know, guys, student athletes never think it's anything they did. It's always the coach. Coach didn't play. Coach didn't give me a chance. I could have done. Okay, you had 5 looks. You had it in 2 hands 4 times and caught none.
Right.
You know, and so sometimes you have to do some things to kind of work on the confidence or lack thereof.
They look, you had 4 weeks of practice too.
They used to get mad with my oldest daughter, family football team, because she would go to class and say, y'all didn't play catch in practice. I said, fucking not play catch. How about passing drills?
Oh, that might have come up going the other way.
When it got to him, was that pass deflected? He fit that in a pretty tight window there.
His receiver needed to help him out right there.
Take over.
He was the only receiver in the pass formation.
Yeah. See, he needed to help him out there. He did not. He missed his out route early. Either he missed it or didn't feel comfortable making that throw. And he elected to throw the vertical.
Coach, I kind of like that kid. Paxson.
Oh, yeah, quarterback.
Yeah, I kind of like him. I like him.
He's also gotten a little bigger. You can tell he's put on a little weight as well.
Has a nice arm. Speaking of young quarterbacks, how you guess your quarterback is doing over at Thomasville County, Thomas County, that we saw in that first game last year?
He's something special.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Coach. He slings that sucker.
Yes, he does. Oh, that snap is off there.
Yeah.
Quarterback goes down in the backfield.
It's for QB.
As they Godby now enters number 14, Lonnie Williams, at quarterback position.
Second down.
Looks like Trey Fisher will be done for this particular game. The backup an opportunity. He's having some issues. Stumbled on that play.
Well, he had a bad snap he had to overcome. To start with, he had to leave his feet to try to catch it, and that threw his timing off for everything else after that. Looks like he has good size, Coach.
Oh, yeah.
No, Godby's always going to have some skilled athletes.
Got 20 receivers both sides. Got the streaking receiver down the middle, and he throws a strike to it. Number 16, Javen Davis.
Coach, I'm impressed you're calling the names out before the announcer even calls them out this year. You try to act like you didn't do homework, but you act like you're ready.
I don't think the Cougars were all set there, but no flags. They're really trying to work fast. Again, for new rule change, you get the 40-second clock immediately at the end of the play.
And what was it before the rule change?
25 seconds, but the official would blow it in. And now the 40-second clock starts immediately after the play. All right, Lonnie Williams scrambling. He's able to pick up the first down. Once again.
Does that rule change speed the game up more, or?
Yes. It does speed the game up. get guys not having those pauses or breaks between the plays. Boy,
He might get in there.
block.
Williams.
Williams
Good
takes it
pursuit.
down to the 8-yard line, 7-yard line.
Good pursuit on that play.
Had some good blocking out in front of him.
Thought he was going to get in at first till I saw the white shirt trailing behind him now.
Godby calls timeout. Approaching the 8-minute mark. Up 28-14.
28-14. Coach, who's that you got up here in my press box?
That's my guy. Best friend Kevin Hankins in the building.
Got to be your only friend. This the guy you were trying to get stuff for you in the rain at the rain game?
My man came through, brought me a sausage dog, knocked the dust off my stomach, Coach.
Oh, yeah, boy. But it took you long enough to get his attention because he tried to ignore you for a long time. Was he the best man at your wedding?
Yes, he is. Yes, he was.
Oh,
Absolutely.
okay. He's the one who lost the ring?
Nah, he ain't losing. I was scared, though. I'll tell you that. I'm telling what was going to happen.
Oh, boy.
Good thing we didn't go to Vegas or something. Oh, touchdown.
The cornerback thought he had a better vertical than that.
Yeah, number 84, I think Rashad.
I think flag. I guarantee you, it's celebratory in the end zone.
Is that another? Yeah, coach is getting on it. Getting on the all. It was one of the offensive linemen, it looks like.
Penalties against Leon.
Oh, penalties against Lee.
Offsetting penalties.
Coach McCray was jumping all over one of his offensive linemen down there.
Wow. That was a little interesting, Coach. Ricketts coming in. Single file, lining up at the end of the end zone with 8 minutes to go.
And the kick is no good. Good score. With 8:07 left in the game. Godby, 34.
8 minutes to go.
14.
This is has not been a good event for the future of kicking in this area.
And we go picking on the kickers again, huh?
Or lack thereof. Yes, sir. We got Ricketts lined up over there. Bright uniforms. Thank you there. We're good. We're talking about Ricketts' team over there under the goal.
Yeah.
Is that your running back again?
Coach Lewis got him out here a little early, doesn't he?
I thought so. With eight minutes.
He got him lined up.
Carry for the
It's a little psychological warfare. I don't know.
And just so happens to be towards the Godby end of the field.
Right. I'm not sure.
I was just wondering, Coach.
And the epic gold uniforms down there.
I like those uniforms.
I do too. I wonder who idea that was.
I don't know.
Pickens on the carry for the Lions. Brought
I think I
down by
know
number
the fellow who
51,
might have designed it.
Reginald Smith.
Is he? I'll be quiet. I started to walk into that one. I said, I'm going to leave that one alone. I started to walk into it.
I think we've been pretty injury free all day.
We have.
We have a Godby player that's down.
Spring Football Classic.
Let's hope that it's no more than just a cramp. Let's hope.
Right. Something that's
The
very
Godby
minor.
Cougars versus the
I
Leon
don't
Lions.
recall a lot of
Next up
injuries here today.
is
So
Godby
that's been
versus
pretty good.
Rickers.
That most of these teams are going to come out of this thing healthy.
That's always a concern at this level. That the student athletes are okay and healthy at this
We'd like to also remind you to please visit our concession stand.
all gold, everything.
Yeah, our friends at Four Corners
Lemonade,
online.
hot dog, hamburger,
Tweet it out.
Ivory Ice is in the
All gold,
north
everything.
zone.
Rick
Please
Brady
visit
stepping
them.
into the stadium.
We also have an ice machine in the south.
They're going to have a lot to prove this year, too, Coach. Coming off a 2-8 season.
Give number 75 a hand as he leads the field.
This is true.
They're going to have a whole lot to prove.
Well, Coach, what do you know about them today? Do you know much? Know anything?
Still a lot of youth that they're going to have to employ. Getting guys ready to play during the season. But Coach Lewis, I do know the coach's staff. Coach Lewis is going to get those guys ready to go.
Breakthrough.
I would be very shocked if I saw another 2-year performance this year. Hey, he might suit up himself and play all 11 positions on the field to avoid that.
Might have to go get you to play one.
I give him 4 plays. One every quarter.
One every.
I give him 4 plays.
Can you punt? Can you kick an extra field goal, extra point?
Better than what we saw so far today, yes, I guarantee you that.
Guarantee me that.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against the Cougars. Puts the ball at the 39-yard line. First and 10, Lions.
All right, Leon has the ball on Cougar territory, 39-yard line. They're going to a Wildcat package. But the running back does throw it out to the receiver, only for a 1-yard gain or so. Not quite sure why we saw that. Bivens in the backfield in the Wildcat.
Pick up a 3.
Throws out to his receiver.
Second down and 7.
Carter Mason. Leon still in the Wildcat formation. We did not see anything out of the ordinary with Paxton Tomei, did we, Coach?
We did not.
Okay. So Leon just showing another wrinkle there, perhaps.
For the Lions.
Going to Wildcat package. I do see Tomei. He looks fine. He's on the sideline with his helmet on. So maybe just a new look for Leon. Wanting to see what that will look like as they go into the offseason.
What do you have there? Offsides?
Yeah, look like offsides on that. Dead ball, offside.
Offside.
That's going to give Leon a first down.
And here's Leon with another sustained drive. A little surprising with now Godby had a number of scholarship athletes leave, but they also returned a high number of athletes for them to be giving up potentially yardage that they're giving up now.
Yeah, they have given up some
Thank you all for
yardage
coming out to the
that
Big
you
Ben
wouldn't expect.
Football Classic.
They have here in this 2020 class some of the guys to look out for. 42 Nikhil Rivers at
Are you in
linebacker.
the building?
Also Malcolm Small.
Leon
Also
High
playing
School. Are
linebacker.
you in the building?
So you have a few guys.
Godby High
They have
School. Are
listed
you in the building?
Travis Cooper, number 31, 6'1", 170 pounds. Defensive back. This is according to the media guide that we have.
First and 10.
Has anybody stood out to you today on the Godby defense?
Not really, they haven't.
Bivens
Wow.
Oh, goodness. Bivens, he stood out.
Touchdown.
Okay, yeah, now that's a taunt. Where he get in the end zone and throw the ball that's a taunt. But Bivens has stood out today for the Leon Lions. He's had a pretty good day.
He's had a great day in both games against Gatson, and then we wanted to see how he did against Godby, and he has more than held his own.
Yes, he has.
And a lot of that's individual effort. He low to the ground, put his hand down, and kept going.
Yeah, he put that shoulder down and was able to get in the end zone. That was a nice scamper. 31-yard touchdown run, I believe.
They have to be feeling pretty good about themselves. Leon does.
Yeah, Leon has not looked bad today, really at all. They've done a pretty good job. I think they're going to be, as we said, one of those teams that if you're not careful, they're going to sneak up on you.
There goes that dribble snapper, and that's the best kick ball we've seen today. Wouldn't have counted in the game because they never would have got off the way it bounced, dribbled, and rolled up there.
Yeah. So we got 34-21, 5 minutes, 23 seconds to go.
Leon has impressed me, Coach.
Very much so.
Now, we wanted to see him against Godby, and they're, like I said, Coach, they've more than held their own against them. They really have.
They will not be the pushover team this year.
No, Coach, they won't be.
Cougars.
They won't be.
Cougars. First and 10 from the 45. Paramore with the carry.
There's Paramore for Godby. We said he's probably gonna be the bell cow this year for the Cougars.
9-yard gain.
He's listed in this class of 2020 of guys to watch for Godby. One of those prospects that will probably be able to play at the next level.
That gives us a first down there.
5 yards.
Godby right up on the ball.
Cougars from the 33-yard line.
As excited as Coach Zan has to be about the performance of his offense, he has to be almost equally as disappointed in the performance of his defense. They're going to have to be better. They're going to have to stop somebody. At least Godby has not had the punt yet.
Yeah, that's right. They have not.
They've had the ball 5 times.
Scored 5 times.
Paramore back in the backfield.
Which they have to feel really good about. They were able to pick up offensively.
But then on the other hand, defensively, they're looking at a Leon team that didn't win a lot of games last year, and they're struggling stopping them.
Right.
Though Leon looks pretty good, they're not the same team they were last year, and neither is Godby.
Flag on the play.
Got a false start.
But if you notice, Leon was still very attentive. What'd you see him do? Diving on the ball.
Got on that ball.
Isn't that what you tell him in practice all the time?
Absolutely. See it on the ground, you gotta go get it.
How many times have you seen somebody running in the end zone or recovering a play that they thought was dead and they got the ball?
Change the game.
Change the game. Boy,
It's like we're gonna have a legal procedure. Yeah, they didn't have enough men on the line of scrimmage.
They can't lose it.
they haven't been able to set the edge yet. Wow, FAMU baseball team takes a 6-0 lead at the end of the first.
5-yard penalty.
Okay, so they're playing that game today.
Playing it right now.
6-0 at the
Second down, 20.
First, end of the first.
Who is on the winner side that's waiting?
Now, yeah, I'm giving you the information. I always tell you ask like a zillion questions.
Hey, that should be something you should know.
My bad. I'm trying to do a telecast. I'm giving you a short notice here. And how many hits did they get? How many errors was it? Oh, my golly, Earl. Take what you got and go with that.
Championship game tomorrow, though. Obviously. That's going to be
Second
good.
down.
Hopefully the Rattlers can put it
25. From the 34
Nice
yard
crowd
line.
coming in.
Yeah, like we said, we're getting to the evening portion of the game.
No, that sun going down, Coach.
Yeah, that too. That too. would be interesting to see if these marquee, quote unquote, marquee matchups were early in the day, what type of crowd you would have. But every team has been well represented by their fan base today.
They have. You can tell the FAMU fans, they all come to the side where there's some shade from the press box.
Right, they know. Everybody knows that.
Don't they?
Got a really, really good crowd out here.
Great for the university in terms of being a part of the community. Good decision.
Absolutely. High snap, hand off to Leland. He gets around the left side. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage.
Coach, do you use a drill with your running backs that you teach them how to go through holes and put their hand down and keep them hitting the ground and keep their balance?
Oh yeah, that's one of those everyday. That's one of those everyday things that you have to do with your backs, because you want them to be able to instinctively get that hand down on the ground and keep their balance.
34-21, 1:55 left. Fourth down.
Run the play clock all the way down, hand the ball off, I presume, and he does. And Leon is going to stop him short of the first, so they'll get one more possession.
And there's a flag there on Godby. He hit him. Defender walking away from the ball. He came and hit him in the back. There's some of Florida High players up in the stands with their shirts off.
Yeah, now there's an emphasis on hitting guys around the pile. Those are things you don't want to do.
I want to see what Leon is going to do with the ball with 1:36 left. You know they're going to turn Paxson loose. I want to see what he does. Down 13, 1:36 to go. You still put your team in a position to try to score 2 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. And Leon needs to definitely be trying to make that happen. Plus, they're going to get an additional 15 yards.
Who did they call a personal foul?
It was on Godby. You were correct. So they're going to pick up 15 yards here with 1:36. Definitely need to employ their 2-minute offense and see if they can get some points on the board. Godby's going to play some. Pretty sure they're going to play some of their backups here. But nevertheless, Leon wants to see if they can score.
Oh, absolutely.
Well,
Ricketts,
coach, before we can say that, they put their backups in too.
Ricketts lining up, getting ready to come on. They only have about 5 minutes to warm up between games. Well, they're just running the clock, yeah. They'll settle with a 34-21 score, both teams. I think both coaches will be satisfied with that.
Yeah, Leon's got to be happy with their performance today, I think. Handling Gadsden County and then holding their own against Godby. Godby did a great job.
Yeah, well, that backup center, they need some work with him. He's almost snapped it over his head.
Godby's done a good job taking care of their business here against Leon. And now we get to see Ricketts come up next
And who?
Versus Godby.
That's Ricketts and Godby next.
Yes.
Third down and 11 from the 49-yard line.
And this will be the last play of this one. 34-21, a Godby win. They looked to pass it. Okay. Coach, why would you do that?
I have absolutely no idea. Absolutely, I was hoping that the clock operator would just let the clock keep running. These last 4 seconds just keep running, even on the man.
Yeah, well, we thought that was the last play of the game.
So you throw the ball on 3rd down. I'd imagine you'd have to throw it here on 4. Try to hit something deep.
Just as well take a knee now, since you didn't try and do anything on the first 2 downs.
Yeah, this probably.
Okay. Well, final score here, 34-21, Godby over Leon. We appreciate you being with us and hope that you're enjoying what we're trying to work to do to bring you something. And remember, next weekend we're going to bring you something live. TCC GBL tournament will be in the house. You can be too. This is Insights High School Game of the Week. This is Mickey Clayton, the coach, and Earl the Pearl Hankerson.
And the Crawfordville Indians.
With a quickness.